everyone, it's your coach Katelyn here, and I wanted to make a video today on what I do as a coach and the misconceptions people have of what I do. And this is across the board, people that are just hearing about what I do as a coach, and also some people that have known me for a long time and have known about my journey as a Beachbody Coach since the beginning. There's still a lot of misconceptions about what I do on a day-to-day basis. And the reason I want to address this and share this with you is if you're potentially interested in becoming a coach yourself, you'll get a look at what I do day-to-day. And if you are someone who is thinking about taking steps to make your life healthier, I wanted to tell you about what I do as a coach so you know a little bit about the services I offer and what I can do for you. So the number one thing I do each day is fairly simple. It's that I talk to people. I talk to people in person. I talk to people on Facebook. This all comes very naturally to me, and I'm sure it does to you as well. I talk to people about their workouts or what kind of goals they have or what they're trying to improve in their lives, and I see how I can help. So I try to encourage people. I try to share what's worked for me. That's the number one thing I do is just, let people know what I'm doing and try to spread some positivity and motivation and add value to their life. And sometimes that means that people want to work with me as a coach, and other times it doesn't, and that's A-okay. I know that Beachbody isn't the end-all, be-all of workout programs, even though I love the programs and I've had a ton of success with them, and I know anybody that commits to them will have that same success, but if it's not your thing, that's okay too. There's plenty of other ways to stay healthy and to maintain a healthy life. So talking to people is the number one thing I do. So when I get up each day, usually one of the first things I look at are any messages from people I have. And this is usually from customers. I have customers that maybe have bought a program and just want to do it on their own, and that's fine. I have other people that like to check in with me as needed and just give me updates on their progress, and that's fine as well. And then I have other people that like to be in my challenge groups, which I'll talk about in a second. So anyways, one of the misconceptions that people have as what I do as a coach is that a lot of people think the workouts are in person, or that I'm a personal trainer, or that these are group workouts. And let me clarify, some coaches are certified and choose to hold in-person classes. Other coaches may not be certified, but they are allowed to hold what's called fit clubs, which is basically people that get together and do the videos together. But what I wanted to do when I got into this business was I wanted to be able to do everything online. So most of what I do is more like motivational coaching. People that are my customers already have their workout programs. They have the nutrition guides and all the manuals that come with the program. So it's my job to make sure they're getting the most out of it. They're sticking to their program. And my goal when I started coaching, even though I love meeting up with customers, fellow coaches, just to talk and hang out and share ideas, I really didn't want to get into a business of having to be at a certain place at a certain time every week. And honestly, when I started, I was traveling a lot for my full-time day job, so I really couldn't commit to having to be anywhere in person. So I wanted to build my business around things that I could do online on my own time and check in with people when it fit into my schedule. So that's one of the first misconceptions. So anyways, after I message people each morning, usually what I do is I go into my challenge groups and I check in with anybody that's commented or asked questions, and I post something of my own. So here's another misconception. Challenge groups, at least the way I run them, are not meant to be a Biggest Loser competition or anything like that. The way I run them, it's usually based on any needs I see. So sometimes they're more workout focused, sometimes they're more nutrition focused. And then lately I've been doing a lot of groups specifically based on motivation, breaking through our fears, and that kind of emotional support, personal development, that kind of growth. So personal growth, I guess, would be a good way to put it. So these are Facebook groups. So they are not in-person groups. I go into the group, I see if anybody's posted any questions, and usually I try to post either a motivational tip of the day, something that I tried, a new technique, or, a new strategy for how to avoid the cookie table at a party or anything like that. I usually post something along those lines, or maybe a motivational YouTube video. And then I'll usually ask questions to see how everybody's doing or to see what they're struggling with, and I try to gear my posts towards that. So the goal of these groups is to create a safe, comfortable, intimate setting of people all kind of trying to work to the same goals so that we can all keep each other on track and supported. Because let's face it, it is hard to stick to a workout program that you're doing in the comfort of your own home. Because for as easy as it is to do from the comfort of your own home, it's also very easy not to do, and it's easy to hit that snooze button. And even for me as a coach, it's so nice to be able to wake up and know that I have a group of people that are counting on me to get my workout done. And there are plenty of times where I go into the groups myself and I say, hey guys, I could use a little encouragement today. I seem to be struggling to get up the motivation. And within 5 minutes, I'll have a bunch of comments cheering me on. And that's all I need to get my workout done and get started and push play. So that's the main idea of the group, is really to create the discussion and the support and the bonds needed to support each other. So these groups may run anywhere from 3 weeks to 3 months is usually the range of time frames. Lately, most of my groups have been about 50 to 60 days or so. And again, that's usually based on the needs of people. If and the goals of the group, whether it is, a quick, let's get in shape and beat the holiday food avalanche, or whether it's more of a group focused on just long-term changes and small baby step goals. So that usually determines the length of the group. But that is the focus of my business. So those customers that I'm either talking with one-on-one over messages or the challenge groups take my priority each day. I try to be accountable to them as best as I can and make sure they're getting what they need from me to stay motivated. The next thing I want to talk about is that what I do as a coach is I try to post something motivational. I already discussed this, whether it's in my challenge groups, but I also have a Facebook page that I try to regularly post either healthy recipes or, share a workout that I'm doing. And I try to do this on my Facebook page too, my own personal profile. And those are just anything that inspired me that day, anything I learned, anything I want to share, things I'm learning from my customers. And anytime I have sort of an inspiration of positivity, I like to share that and create those positive ripples. I think there's plenty of negativity, and I love being able to share something that brightened my day and can hopefully brighten others too. Another thing about this business that takes up a lot of my time, especially now that I've been doing this for a while, is that I have coaches that I've signed up, and we all are kind of on a bigger team where we all help each other. So we have Facebook groups specifically for coaches, and this is where we support each other with the business, give each other tips, advice, encouragement. And it's also something that I like to put a lot of time to, because I have been a coach for almost 2.5 years. So I've learned a lot about how to pick up on certain patterns of struggles that people are going through and how to best help different personality types and, what to recommend for people. It's just kind of natural sort of training that I've gotten along the way, just seeing what works best for people, seeing what doesn't work so well. And so I like to pass that information along with my coaches and help them in whatever way they need. So it's a great support group. We have just a ton of fun and positive conversations, and have just all really become good friends too. So a good chunk of my day is spent checking in with them and making sure they have the support they need. Another misconception about that brings up is a lot of people that want to be coaches or are new coaches have a misconception that they need to be an expert, and that is not true at all. First off, unless we're certified with a certain workout program or we have some sort of nutrition credentials, I am not supposed to give you advice as if I'm an expert. So I give advice based on my experiences, what's worked well for me, what's worked well for other customers, common struggles that I've seen, and common ways to overcome these. So you by no means have to be an expert, and you by no means have to be perfect. As I mentioned before, I use the groups as much as my customers do. I love checking in with these groups. It's always an encouraging environment. It's always very supportive and open and honest and real. And, we're all just doing our best to get better and to improve ourselves. So I utilize it as much as my customers do. So you by no means have to be perfect. And actually, that's been one of the biggest surprises of this whole coaching journey is how much I've learned and how much I've grown and how much my belief in myself has grown and my belief that everything is working out for the best. So it truly has been a blessing. This whole journey has been incredible, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So by no means do you have to be perfectly an expert or at your best point to be a good coach, because you will learn so much about yourself and about life along the way, I promise. So the last tip I will give, and this is for any potential coaches and also a little bit as to what to expect if you're a prospective customer. My biggest rule with coaching actually comes from a piece of advice that I got from a woman who was on staff with a program I was volunteering with. And this was a program for families and kids through a homeless mission. And I remembered when I first started the family program and I started volunteering, I was worried about, what would I say if they asked me certain questions I didn't know, or, I don't know a whole lot about kids and how to work with them, even though I love kids. And I was just worried about saying and doing the right thing, which is, I know, something a lot of coaches go through. So what the woman who was on staff had told me was, just show them love and you can't go wrong. And that is absolutely something I have adopted into my coaching business. So for other coaches, that is my number one tip. That is your number one job as a coach, is to show people love and to encourage them and support them and help them in any way they can, even if they're not a customer. Even if they're just somebody you see on your news feed that could use a little encouragement that day, or could use a comforting message or a little bit of inspiration. And for my customers, I know I'm far from perfect as a coach and I just do the best I can. But if there's one thing you don't have to doubt, is that you will get tons of love and support from me, if nothing else, even if it's not the best coaching techniques or the best tips on how to survive a holiday party without overindulging. We're still working out the kinks there. But just know that you will always be cared for and cared about and shown respect. So that is the number one thing I do as a coach, is to show people love and to show people how they can live happier, healthier lives. So I hope that answers a lot of questions that I've been getting and addresses a lot of the misconceptions that people have about coaching. And if you have any other questions, post below. So thanks for watching.